In the last video I did, I helped you heal from avoidant attachment, hopefully, but what about if you're coming from the opposite end of things and you have a more anxious attachment style? Maybe instead of avoiding intimacy, you go charging headfirst into the volcano, not realizing the danger you're putting yourself in. Even though I think we get these messages that something like an anxious attachment is more socially acceptable because we kind of think of love as always wanting to be around somebody all the time, it's still bad for us and it still sucks. You know, I went through it myself. My primary attachment style has been to have that anxious, preoccupied attachment style, and I will tell you, the desperation is not fun. It doesn't feel good to be alone and feel like we're always alone and feel like everybody that we love is abandoning us and we can't fend for ourselves and we're weak and pathetic and I hate it. But if you watched my videos, then you should know by now that attachment styles can change. And I changed my own attachment style from anxious preoccupied to a secure attachment style. So I want to give you some tips on how to do that yourself if you're struggling with this. Okay, the first thing that I think that we need to do here is recognize when is it that our attachment style starts activating? When do we start feeling this need that we need our partner to be around right now? Start noticing like the things that you do and the things that you say. So maybe you reach out to your partner and you're thinking to yourself like, I wonder what they're doing right now. Or you start planning for when they're going to return. Like, notice that that's actually happening. Like, notice it right away as soon as you can so that you know, oh, maybe my attachment thing is activating right now. Don't wait until you've sent 20 text messages and made 10 phone calls and started freaking out about how they must be dead somewhere. Try to catch it in the beginning. Now here's the thing. Just like the person who has an avoidant attachment, when you have an anxious attachment, you have a feeling. And that feeling is that insecurity, that feeling that you need to get your partner around, otherwise things are not going to be okay, or you're going to lose the relationship. They're going to abandon you, like something's going to happen. And that's a feeling. We got to remember, it's a feeling. It's not actually happening. And the thing is, the name anxious attachment is actually kind of deceptive here because in a way, we're avoiding that feeling when we reach out to our partner. We're looking to our partner to manage that feeling for us. And we're trying to get our partner to get that feeling to go away. But we don't need that feeling to go away, and we don't need them to take care of that feeling. That's the lie. We're avoiding the feeling just like an avoidant attached person would avoid the feeling as well. We're just doing it in a different way. So what you want to do here is remind yourself that a feeling is not going to kill you. It's not the end of the world if you have a feeling of insecurity. And feelings always pass. You know this. You've been through this before. It goes away. So remind yourself of that. Tell yourself, it's just a feeling. It's okay. I can handle this. Now I know from personal experience that that feeling is a very strong feeling. So there's going to be times, especially in the beginning, when you're not going to resist the urge to reach out. Like, it's so strong, you have to connect with your partner. So what I would say here is, instead of, reach out if you need to reach out, but instead of dancing around the issue and being like, what are you doing? What are we doing tonight? Like that kind of stuff. Just acknowledge, like, I feel insecure right now, and let your partner know that. Communicate what's actually going on instead of trying to dance around it. Don't accuse your partner of being an awful person because they're not checking in with you every 5 minutes. First of all, they're not going to want to check in with you if you accuse them of things like that and start criticizing them. But second of all, again, it's not addressing the feeling. Like, you're not really actually getting what you want. So just communicate the way that you're feeling, and then they have an opportunity to maybe try to help you address that. Now, if your partner doesn't respond right away, which is probably going to happen, set up some realistic expectations here. They're not just going to drop everything for you. If they don't respond right away, or if they don't respond at all, instead of telling yourself like the worst, that they're dead somewhere, or telling yourself that they're cheating on you, or the relationship is over, or you hate them, or all these things that probably go through your head, start to think about the best. Maybe their phone battery died. Maybe they're in the middle of something important. Maybe they're planning the night with you and it's a surprise and they want to figure it out. Like, don't go immediately to the disaster situation, because that's that feeling trying to get stronger and stronger and stronger and take you over and make you feel weak and make you feel like you can't handle things. You have to fight back against that feeling. It's normal when we have an anxious attachment to feel very insecure, very weak when we're alone especially, and this is why we reach out to our partner, because we're looking for somebody else to help us not feel alone, to help us get past this feeling of not being able to handle things. But remember, you can handle things, and one of the best ways to remind yourself of this is to get involved in any passions or hobbies that you have. So whatever it is, reading, video games, dancing, singing, collecting, like researching, whatever thing that you like to do, go do it. This is the time to be doing it, especially when that feeling comes up, because it will hopefully help to distract you from the feeling and take you away from this obsession and thinking about your partner and what your partner's doing. Because again, you don't need your partner to manage that feeling. You have all the capability in the world right there inside of yourself to handle it. And the more that you do things that help you feel some sort of sense of accomplishment or some sense of joy and fun and excitement, the more that you can remind yourself that you're capable of handling it and that you have gotten past it in the past. Again, this might be new to you and this might be difficult at first, but keep doing it. Keep practicing. It's okay to stumble. It's okay to mess up. It's okay to text your partner sometimes. It's okay to get a little upset and angry. Hopefully you've explained to them a little bit maybe about what attachment is and why you do the things that you do. And again, own the feeling as your own feeling and don't put it all on them. But practice trying to distract yourself with activities that you can do alone that make you feel fulfilled, so it doesn't feel like the worst thing in the world when your partner's not around, because it truly isn't. And if you're really struggling with this, then it's okay to reach out to other people to try to use them in a way. I hate to say use people, but sometimes we need additional support. So it's okay if you have to reach out to friends and maybe talk things over with them, or maybe you just want to go out with them so that you're not alone. That's a better strategy than attacking your partner. But ultimately, you want to learn to be able to handle this on your own, because you can. Remind yourself that you can. Take away all those negative thoughts that come with the attachment style about you being weak, about you being unlovable, about everything that you do ending in disaster. Take that away. Stop saying that to yourself and replace it with positive things. You can do this. You've gone through it before. You're a strong person. You can be independent. There are things that you love to do alone. Go do them. Just like with the avoidant attachment style, I think that empathy can really help here with the anxious attachment style. And if you can catch yourself when that feeling comes up, when you want to reach out to your partner and say to yourself, okay, I'm feeling insecure right now, but how would my partner feel if they all of a sudden got 10 texts in a row while they're in the middle of something? How does my partner feel when I tell them they're a terrible person because they're not acknowledging me, because they're ignoring me? Is that even true that they're ignoring me? And how would it feel if it's not true and I'm telling them that? Try to have empathy for your partner and what they're feeling. And how would you feel if somebody did to you the things that you do to your partner? Having that ability to step outside yourself and view yourself and your behavior that way may help you to reconsider what you're doing and why you're doing it. And remember that here there is no perfect way to do this, but you can move towards a more secure attachment style. And that's really the goal here. You don't have to be like perfectly in the middle, getting it right all the time. You don't have to be a perfect partner. A healthy relationship is not about being perfect. You don't want to put that kind of pressure on yourself. Just work towards being more secure. Work towards having more independence. Work towards reminding yourself of your strengths and the things that you enjoy to do alone. And that's really all you can do. Work towards better communication with your partner, work towards empathizing with them and what they experience, and I promise you, you will have a better relationship, a happier relationship for both you and your partner. So what do you think about all of this? Have you tried some of this stuff before and it didn't work for you and you're like, Ryan, you're full of shit? Because I could see somebody saying that to me and I can understand that. I can empathize with you. I want to hear what you think about all of this. Leave that down below in the comments. Just be nice about it, please, because I do moderate my comments and I'll look forward to seeing what your thoughts are.